guys, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be talking about my October favorites. So when this video goes up, it's going to be basically like a week into November, so I know this video is going up so late and I debated whether or not I was even going to do this, but I was not feeling well like the past week or so and I basically like didn't film at all. I was so tired and I just like every time I would try I would get too tired and I couldn't finish. And I thought I might as well post it. It's better late than never, and all of these products have obviously like carried into November. I love them still. It's not like I suddenly stopped liking them just because the month changed. And I kept the list of things quite short, and I actually included 2 dislikes, which I don't think I've ever included dislikes in my monthly like favorites videos. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to talk about my favorites first and then I'll leave the dislikes to the end. So the first item is this, which is the Gucci bronzing powder. I have the shade 01 and it's on my face today. I have contour as well, but you know, most of the color on the outer edges of my face is the bronzer. So 01 is the fair shade. If I'm not mistaken, they have either 5 or 6 of these bronzers. And this is a bronzer that I've wanted for a really long time. I think they released these in the summer, but I only ended up buying it during the Sephora Friends and Family sale, which was I think a month ago. And yeah, I'm so happy I ended up getting this because it literally from the first time I used it, I fell so hard for this bronzer. I really wanted to get a bronzer that would be really easy and effortless to use with my like very fair skin tone. I don't self-tan anymore. I'm not opposed to self-tanning. I just haven't been in the mood to self-tan for a really long time. I'm kind of just embracing the pale, you know? And this bronzer is such a good tone for my fair skin. So this particular shade, I might as well open up and show you, is very neutral, and so it's really nice if you have a fair skin tone. It's not going to give you that kind of like bronzer helmet where it's really warm and it's really like contrasting to your skin tone or your undertone. I personally have like a cool undertone, and so I find that this really warms my skin up, but not in a way that's like jarring. And it's quite sheer, but in a very buildable way. Like you can wear a really light layer of this just to get like a really small flush of color, or you can like pile it on and really bronze your skin up, but it looks so natural, and no matter how much you pile on, it never really gets thick or muddy or anything like that. Like it blends out really beautifully. So I will swatch this for you. So that is the color. I will kind of just like blend it out with my finger just so you can kind of see how nicely it blends out. You can see that the undertone is very neutral, like you get that little bit of warmth, but you know, not at all in an orange way. The bronzer does have a fragrance to it, so if that's something that you're super sensitive to, then you know, that's something to take note of. It is fragranced. I don't find the fragrance to be strong at all. Like I don't ever smell it when I'm applying it to my face, but I can smell it when I'm smelling like the swatch or the actual bronzer itself. And the last thing I want to mention, which is obviously not important, but the packaging is so beautiful on this. I obviously had seen it online and I thought it was really pretty, like the color story, but when you actually see this packaging in person, it is such beautiful like work of art type packaging. Like if you look on the back, you can see this kind of like laser cut design that's mimicked on the actual powder. You might not see it on the powder because I've used it so much. I've kind of worked through it a little bit, but it's, you know, it's the same design as on the back. And it's this beautiful like mirrored gold. It kind of looks like an Art Deco like 1920s, 1930s like powder tin. Like it's really pretty. So that is the Gucci bronzer. Okay, so the next item I wanted to talk about is not very exciting, but it's a staple for me because I wear false eyelashes. And this is the Duo Kwikset Strip Lash Adhesive. So this is the dark tone one, but they also have a clear one as well depending on what your preference is. And the reason I'm talking about this is because it's the Kwikset one. So for years I always used the Duo that was in the tube, and then they came out with the brush on one, which is really awesome as well. But after I found and discovered this Kwikset one, I have literally never looked back. This particular product doesn't need any drying time at all. For me, I obviously trim my lashes, I get them ready, I'll spread the glue on, and then I literally will wait like 1 second and kind of get everything positioned, and then I can stick it on and it's good to go. You do still have time to kind of move it around and adjust it if you need to, but you don't have to sit there for like a minute or more kind of like fanning it and blowing on it or just letting it sit there. And then I've had the issue with the original duo where because it needs a drying time, I will put the glue on and I will set it down, like put my mascara on to kind of give it time to get tacky, and then I will actually end up forgetting about it, and then I will have to like pick the glue off and then start again because it will have completely dried down. For me, there's literally nothing better than being able to put your glue on and put the lash on basically immediately after. It adheres just as well and lasts just as long as the original duo. It literally does all the exact same things as the original duo. It's also latex free and all of that stuff, except you just don't have to wait for it to get tacky, which is absolutely amazing. And if you haven't tried this one and you are a big like eyelash wearer, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, I'm sure you've all tried it out, but if by chance you haven't tried the Kwikset one, it is fantastic. So the next product I want to talk about is a drugstore mascara, and this is the Essence Lash Princess Waterproof Mascara. So I had used the original Lash Princess mascara and I did really like it, but I never repurchased it because for me, I have to use waterproof mascara if I'm using mascara on its own. My lashes are really straight and they almost grow like downward, so I have to curl the crap out of them and use a ton of waterproof mascara if I want the curl to hold at all. And it was quite a long time ago, but they came out with the waterproof version and I'm so happy they did because it's such a nice mascara. It has a very small skinny wand that's, you know, tapered. It gets smaller on the end, so it's really good for getting, you know, in the corners of your eye or your lower lash line. The waterproof is really nice. It's not flaky. It does hold the curl all day long. It's very inexpensive. I think this is $4.99, but you know, at places like Ulta you can always get discounts on drugstore items. And for me, this mascara gives you a ton of length and volume, and you can really build it up and get like very, very voluminous lashes. If you use too much of it, you definitely can get your lashes kind of sticking together a little bit, but if you really take the time to kind of, you know, work it through your lashes, you can get such beautiful, long, voluminous lashes that just look so full and beautiful, but not like clumpy and spidery. Yeah, I just really love this mascara. There's not a ton else I can say about it, but I would highly recommend it if you are someone like me who needs a good like waterproof mascara. With mascara, I do have like high-end mascara favorites, but I generally gravitate towards drugstore because I've found so many drugstore formulas of mascara that are just as good, if not better in a lot of cases, than high-end mascaras, and they're obviously like 1/4, 1/5 of the price. This is especially inexpensive. This is, as I said, $4.99, and a lot of brands like L'Oreal now are like $10. So this is an amazing price tag, and yeah, drugstore mascara for the win. So I would highly recommend that. So the next product I want to talk about is from Natasha Denona, and this is the blush that I have on right now, and this is the Duo Glow Blush in 02 Rayo. So she has two versions that I know of this blush. I have two of them at least, and one has kind of like a gold reflect in it, and it is a peachy tone, and this one is obviously like a kind of pink tone with a more like icy reflect to it. And although it looks very, very like icy in the pan, it actually looks a lot warmer when you get it on the cheeks, and I can wear it with both cool toned and like warm toned looks, and I don't find that it clashes or anything like that, which is amazing. And this particular one is just such a beautiful, super glowy, like baby pink kind of a shade, and obviously when I swatch it there, it looks very, very pigmented, and that is one thing with this blush. If you put too much on your brush and you don't kind of like tap it off, you can go overboard because it does have kind of like a stronger pigment to it. But for me, as long as I do kind of make sure to really tap my brush off after dipping into this, I can wear it really beautifully and sheerly on the cheeks, and I can build it up like really easily as well. But the color on it is just so pretty. I'm a sucker for baby pink blushes, and even though this does really look like a baby pink, the actual pink does have like a nice bit of warmth to it. So I think this could actually appeal to someone who wants to get like a nice pink blush but is scared of those like powdery baby pinks. This one has like enough warmth in the undertone and enough color to it that it looks very like vibrant and alive on the cheeks, but not in like an overdone way. It just gives your cheeks life. Like it looks like a nice like pinch of color to the cheeks. And these particular blushes, as it says in the name, are like very glowy blushes. So if you're someone who only likes matte blush, this obviously wouldn't be the item for you. But if you're like me and you love a really good like highlighted kind of a blush, I would highly recommend this formula. And the thing that I really love about this kind of like highlighted blush as well is that number one, you wouldn't even really need to use a highlighter if you kind of blend the blush upwards. But if you do use highlighter, you never get that dreaded like highlighter stripe, because this blends the two in together in such a beautiful way. And I don't know, it just is so beautiful and youthful looking on the cheeks. I'm obviously talking about the pink one because I feel like this is the one that I gravitate towards, but the peachy one is stunning as well. I could actually swatch that since I am talking about them. So this is the shade 01 Alba, and this is the more like golden toned peachy one. So obviously I did do like, again, a heavy swatch of it. You can really sheer that out on the cheeks very easily. And as you can see, this one does have a little bit more of like a golden reflect. But even though the reflect in this is a little bit more silver, it doesn't look like icy next to the Alba color. Like there is a nice amount of warmth in the undertone to the pink one that I just absolutely love. And yeah, I've had these blushes forever and they're so pigmented that I have not even made like a dent in either of these blushes, and I've had them for a really long time. So that has been a blush favorite of mine. Okay, so my last favorite I'm just gonna breeze through because this was a limited edition item that you can't actually buy anymore. And I debated whether or not I should even put this in, but I decided to talk about this for a couple different reasons. First off, it is a favorite. I'm talking about a highlighter in here, and ever since I kind of rediscovered it in my collection, I have not been able to stop using it. And the second reason is kind of just like encouragement to shop your stash. I also wanted to do a video where I shop my stash and use products I haven't used in forever. And if you do have this particular palette, maybe it would remind you to like take it out and use it. And if you don't, it is, as I said, just kind of looking at products that you already have and getting use out of them, because I get that like new makeup is so exciting, and on YouTube it's all about like the newest stuff and reviewing the newest stuff. But I feel like I always have to be cognizant of like stepping back and trying to really use, you know, older items that were favorites or older items that I just never really gave a good fair chance to. And this was definitely one of those palettes that I got and I never used enough. But after I kind of rediscovered it, I fell in love with the highlight in here. I didn't even tell you what this was. So this is the Tom Ford Soleil Eye and Cheek palette in 05 Soleil d'Ombre. This is one of the palettes that he released, I think like maybe 2 years ago, and it has a blush, a highlight, and then you have 4 eyeshadows. This is the highlight I have on right now, and it's just a regular powder highlight. It's not one of the like baked formulas or anything like that, just a standard powder. But this particular shade is so pretty. Sorry, it was kind of crumbly. I'm just gonna blend that in a little bit. It honestly looks really boring on my arm. This is like a lot of highlights. This is something you could very easily dupe, and you probably have like 10 similar shades to this in your collection. But I just really love this because it's kind of like a very neutral like champagne peach, and I love highlights that have like a little bit of like a neutral peach in them. I feel like a lot of highlights can be very pink or icy, or they can lean very like warm and gold, and I just love how neutral this is. And even though it does look kind of boring, I feel like it actually packs like a really beautiful like metallic punch. Like you can see like this part here is just highlight, and it looks really strong and vibrant, but because the formula is kind of like a thicker powder, you can really like buff it into the skin, and so it really buffs into like a really natural finish on the skin while still being very impactful. So I'm so happy I found this highlight. I have not been able to stop using it because it's so neutral that it just literally goes with everything, and I'm really happy I rediscovered it. And I feel like it's encouragement for you to rediscover things in your collection that you might not have given a fair chance to, because I'm so glad that I rediscovered that highlight. So now I'm going to talk about my next 2 items, which are the disappointing products. The first item is the Kylie lip liner in the shade Coconut. So when I first got this, I remember really loving this, but I haven't used it in a while, not in such a long time that I would expect this to be like dried out or expired or anything like that. But I opened it up to use it, and okay, of course it's not doing it now, but I'll pull it out. It had completely fallen out of its like casing, which is so annoying. And when I tried sharpening it, it kept like breaking off like it was dried. And this part of the pencil is like so sharp that if any of this is kind of sticking up and you get it on your lip, like it really scratches at your lip. And I don't know, I was just so like, for like a sharpenable pencil, it's so annoying that it has dried out like that and that it's just not performing well after, you know, not having it that long. The color is okay. You know, it's a nice kind of like brownish rosy color. But I don't know, I was really disappointed that it was doing that, and it's kind of hard to sharpen, like it keeps breaking and it's just not worth it to me. And this cap doesn't actually fit on here, which is really annoying as well. I wonder if that's part of the reason why it's been drying out. So this is definitely something I'm gonna toss, unfortunately. And that's the only lip liner that I have from Kylie, so I can't say if that one was just kind of like a fluke or what, but very disappointing. And then the next item is one that I'm really like conflicted about because the formula on this is like 100% a favorite. And this is the Dose of Colors eyeliner. I have 3 of them. I have Caviar, which is what I used today on my waterline, and it's just a black. I have Dark Roast, which is a really deep brown with like a burgundy undertone to it. And then the last shade is Teddy, which is one of my favorite eyeliners ever in terms of just formula and color, everything. It's not swatching. There. Teddy is like this really beautiful rosy, like dusty rose kind of a color, and I use it as like an alternative to a nude because, oh, there's fuzzies. Because it's like a medium toned color, so it adds a little bit of depth to the eye. It's not too bright like a nude usually is, but the rosiness in it really accentuates your eye color, and the formula is beautiful. It dries down, it sets, it lasts on the waterline really beautifully, even if you have kind of like slightly teary eyes. Another great thing is that you can put it on your waterline, you can let it set, and then you can add more of it, and it doesn't flake off or pick product up, like pick up on itself, if that makes sense. It just layers really nicely. It's such a beautiful formula. But here is where the disappointing part comes in. Everything sounds perfect. So here is the eyeliner. Everything sounds great. This is the shade Teddy, which is the one that I've been using, and I love it so much that I bought a backup of it when Dose of Colors had a sale on their website. That's when I bought the Caviar and Dark Roast shades. So here is a brand new unopened Teddy shade. So these eyeliners are $15, so they're not, you know, the most expensive high-end liners, but they're not like drugstore price either. So again, unopened, brand new. Let me just twist it all the way up to see how much product you get. There. That's how much eyeliner you get. Okay? That is literally the same size as this black part right here. So you could literally get rid of all of this silver packaging and just have this black part and maybe like this much of the silver. You could sell it like that, and that would be true to size of how much actual eyeliner you get in this product for $15. Dude, I was so disappointed. And it's not like this is like the most, like these are really pigmented, but it's not like this is the most like one swipe full opacity kind of eyeliner formula that you need so little of it to just completely saturate your eyes. No, I actually build this up. For me to get like the opaqueness of color and thickness that I want on the lid, I do have to kind of build it up on the waterline. And that is crazy. That is so little product, especially considering you're giving us this whole pencil, kind of tricking us into thinking that's how much product, or at least like you would think halfway. A lot of products do have like that extra space, whatever, but you would think you would get at least like that much eyeliner. No, you get that much. So disappointing. I'm so glad that I have always bought from Dose of Color during a sale, but even then, that is so little product, and I'm so very disappointed. Dose of Colors, don't trick us. Give us a mini pencil like that, because at least it's being a little bit more honest as to how much product you're getting, you know? But yeah, those are all of my hits and a couple misses from the past month. Again, I know this video is going up a little bit late, but I hope you don't mind. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Please let me know what some of your favorites or even dislikes have been. I would love, love, love to know. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Bye!